So a rare event in the sky overnight tonight in Philly and kind of across the country. It's the total lunar eclipse. Totality begins about 2:30 in the morning tonight and lasts for about an hour, with the maximum eclipse right before 3 o'clock. The moon will appear red in the earth as the earth blocks out sunlight from the moon's surface. The next lunar eclipse, March 2026. I've got Deborah Skapik, adjunct professor at St. Joseph's University and a NASA Partner Eclipse Ambassador. What a cool title.
Thank you.
Eclipse Ambassador. So you have brought a model for us to talk about the science behind the lunar eclipse as opposed to the solar eclipse, which got a lot of attention. So what is the difference between a lunar and a solar eclipse?
The difference between a lunar and a solar eclipse is that a solar eclipse occurs when the moon's shadow is being cast upon the earth, but a lunar eclipse is the opposite, occurring at full moon, which we're having tonight, when the moon moves into Earth's shadow.
Okay, so we have the model here. Let's do a little bit of modeling.
Sure.
Is this to scale?
Well, that's the big question. Is a lot of people are of the perception that the moon is quite big compared to Earth. Actually, it's quite small.
Yes.
It's much smaller. It's like this. And the distance that the moon is from Earth is quite large. If I were to stretch out my arms, a lot of people will say it's about this far away. It turns out I'd have to unravel this long string, which you can see.
Oh my goodness. So
actually, we could walk.
This here. And this is wild to think, because this guy at this length controls the tides. How is that even possible?
Right.
I don't understand.
And since that's so hard to show on camera, I brought a different one, which is easier. And so here, this is if we shrink the Earth down to this tiny little globe, that's how big the moon is. So imagine, right, during a solar eclipse, this little tiny shadow is being cast on Earth. Okay. But if the sun is over there, now we're reversing the situation, and the little moon is moving.
The sun, huge over here. Moves here, and then the Earth casts
the shadow onto the moon.
Yep. Okay.
And so what we have happening around midnight tonight is that the moon slowly begins going underneath Earth's shadow, and you won't notice anything for the first hour or so, but about 10 minutes after 1, you'll see the moon kind of sneaking into that Earth shadow. You'll see that shadow nibbling away at the edge of the moon, and then at about, like you said, 2:26, the moon is completely in there, and then it may turn red.
Red. Why red?
Some of the sunlight sneaks around through Earth's atmosphere, and Earth's atmosphere bends or refracts that light, removing the blue out of it, and so we get the red.
Yeah, it's always amazing with light bending, some of the colors that we get. And that's a whole other science, right? The science of light. Now let's real quick talk about what people can do at this time. You know, we've got our phones out. We want to get video. Is it safe to look directly at this? You know, the solar eclipse, it was not safe. Can we do that?
100% safe. So you can take your children out, your pets, everybody.
If you want to wake them up.
Yeah, if you want to wake them up.
It's hard to get them back to sleep.
Well, true. However, you can see the opposite. If you want to wake them up a little bit early, if you get them up around 3:30, that's when totality is ending, and they can see the ending stages as the moon is moving out of Earth's shadow, so they could see the exit rather than the entrance of the eclipse.
Anything else going on in the sky?
I mean, we just had this lovely planet parade, so you might be able to look out and still see some planets.
Some of the planets, not all of them.
Not all of them, but
I love it. I love your moon earrings.
Of course, I have to always, represent.
I love it. Professor, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, Monica.
I'm sure there's so much more science, but we just covered the tip of the iceberg, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I hope you guys all enjoy your lunar eclipse tonight. It's going to be so fun.